I'm jumping around a little bit in the textbook for the order of these lectures. This next lecture is on chapter 6.4, Conservative and Non-Conservative Forces. A force is conservative when the work it does on an object is independent of the path between the initial and final positions. This means that it depends only on the displacement, not the distance traveled. It is important to consider and look at the displacement and distance and whether or not the forces applied are going to actually do work. In conservative and non-conservative forces, we're looking at for how the energy of a system changes. A conservative force does no net work on a closed path. In this situation, a conservative force could be considered gravity for the person sliding around on this roller coaster. A non-conservative force does work. That means the displacement doesn't matter. However, the distance traveled matters. In this case, a non-conservative force would be friction, removing energy from the system. The conservative force could be force due to the potential energy due to gravity or something along those lines. But the displacement, the distance traveled does not affect the force. Doesn't matter how many loops or up and downs goes, it just matters the total displacement. We often associate potential energy with conservative forces. Gravity, picking something up, or gravitational potential energy, picking something up, does not depend on how you pick it up, but more just the displacement between the initial and final height. We'll see that more in a little bit in our next lecture. Non-conservative forces take away kinetic or potential energy from a system. This is usually in the form of friction or air resistance, and they convert this energy into either heat or sound. When a non-conservative force does work on an object, it removes or takes energy away from that object. For example, a ball rolling along. Friction is a non-conservative force that takes energy away from that ball and converts it into other forms such as sound or heat. Here are a couple of example forces, and I want you to think about whether they are conservative or not. Please answer them online in the homework on there. Have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow in class.